Okay, so to show form, we use value. And what you're going to be working from is we have this Henry Moore sculpture. This is a large outdoor sculpture called Vertebrae, and I bet you can see the connection between the name and the abstracted forms. He always worked with parts of humans, so to say. Because we're focusing on value only, I'm giving you a line drawing, an outline, so this sculpture. And then your job is to use value to turn this outline into something that looks three-dimensional. Now, always 3 dimensions is going to come from value. This has the also benefit of value and layering. Layering also does this. I also have this photocopy because I wanted to point something out to you with this photocopy. So a lot of times when you're looking at these free-form soft shapes, they seem like it would be, it's hard to know where to start. But what I want you to realize is what you want to look at is all these different shapes. So when there's a different shade of gray, just like with Picasso's shapes, these shapes are here. So like there is a pretty dominant shape here, and I'm going to draw around it, of a pretty light gray. And I'm going to call this my number 2, okay, with 1 being almost white. So you see that shape in there? That shape also shows up here. Oh, and it kind of comes around. There. All right. Up here, there's a few pieces of it. There's a piece that comes up like this. And then there's a triangle of it here. Okay? There's more of it here. This is how an artist looks at value. It's funny, in order to create something that looks 3D, you actually turn it in to 2D. So instead of it being this really strange 3D shape, I'm turning it into 2D shapes. Right? These are all going to be the same level gray, a very light gray, probably something like this at the very darkest. Okay, so then I'm going to go the next one darker. So I'm seeing some of that around it, right? The darker gray usually comes right around it, so this would be maybe my 3. And of course, you don't have to do the circling bit. I'm doing this to demonstrate to you how one sees and applies different pieces of value. The other way to think about this is basically a pyramid, okay? This is basically a cone. This is basically the top of a sphere. That is why an artist will practice shading those basic geometric forms, because then we look for them in these more complex forms and then we shade them just like we would. So like if this was a cone, I could shade this just like I would a cone, from getting darker to light all the way around it, and I would get this nice shape. This extra piece here that we have is going to make it look really extra shiny, but it wouldn't be necessary. Okay, so the next video, we're going to actually start shading some of this in.